Hi everyone, this is Smriti. Welcome to QA automation classes. So today is the class 13. In the last class, we have seen how to create the page object model and how to pass the data from the step from to the step definition from the feature file, right? So if we see the feature file, so if you see in this step number 6, user enters the username as within the double quotes, we can directly pass those values. Okay, so this is one of the way how you can pass the test data to your corresponding step in the feature file, right? And when you now define the step definition, if you say control click, and there you can capture those values with the help of the string variable names. Okay, so I'm saying string username and string password, and you can use them further in your automation script. Okay, so that's what we did. But today we'll understand one more advanced concept called as the data table. Okay, so what exactly is the data table, right? So data table is basically a data structure, and it is provided by the Cucumber, and through the data table data can be passed from the feature file to the step definition and can be used by the scripts. So exactly what we did here, right? If you see exactly how we pass the data, right? Same concept. So through the data table also we can pass the data from the feature file to the step definition file and can be further utilized in our automation framework, right? And this data table concept is used to achieve the data driven testing. Okay, and so let's do one thing. So let's comment this one and we can have a new scenario. Okay, so let's have a new scenario first. Let me comment this one. So username and password, just say like this. Okay, so all other steps will remain same. I'm just saying user enters username and password. Okay, and here I'm going to use the data table concept. So how we can use? So first you have to give a pipe. Okay, let's say I have the username and password, right? So let's copy paste. So username, again pipe, and then copy the password. Okay, so okay. So now if you see how it is different from here, so here directly in the same line we have given username as the qaautomationclasses at the gmail.com and password as qaautomationclasses. So I am giving in the same line, in line I'm passing, right? So and if you see here I'm saying user enters username and password, and I'm passing two values over here. How you will know there are two values? The Cucumber will know through this pipe symbol. If you see, this is within one pipe symbol and this is within another pipe symbol, right? So that means there are two data we're passing here. Okay, and how to capture this one, right? So if you see, it is asking us to implement these steps, right? This is highlighted. So create step definition. Okay, in this page we are going to create the step definition. Perfect. Okay, so now let's say public void user enters the username and password, right? And here we have to capture those values, right? So for that we have to say data table here, right? So sorry, capital D, data table, I can see here, right? So io.cucumber.data table. So this is the one, this class we are going to use. Okay, so data table, and give the name of the data table. So I'll say it is the user credentials, right? Because we are basically passing the username and passwords, right? So I'm saying the user credentials or user credential. Okay, let me say user credential. Okay, so data table user credential, and now I have to pass those information, right? So how to pass those information? Let's say user credential dot. Okay, so how I'm going to read it? So I'm going to read it as a list. So you say as a list. Okay, and as a list, and how exactly it is going to be read? It is going to be read as a string dot class. Okay, so these are the string things, string type of data, and I'm going to read them as a form of a list. So now what will be the return type now, right? So if you see the as list method, right? So public t java.util.list of t as list. Okay, so now this one we are going to store it as a list of the strings. So list of list list of string. Okay, list of string, So list of string, and we can give some name of the list. So list of string, let's say credential list or something I can say, right? So let's say credential list I can say, right? Oh, yeah, that's a credential list. Okay, so this list import class. Okay, java dot util. Okay, what is happening here? So list of string. Okay, list of string credential list equals to user credentials dot as list, sorry, not as list, is as lists. Okay, and we say string dot class. Cool. So now what happens? So we captured the whatever the values being passed from here, right? So we are passing qaautomationclasses at the gmail.com. This is the username and this is the password. So both the fields we are going to capture it in our step definition, right? As lists, and we are going to store it in the list of string in the user credential list. So we have stored it. So now how to retrieve it, right? So in order to retrieve it, we can say let's implement in the step only, right? So after retrieving the username and password, what you used to do? So you used to do these two steps, right? Sign up or login page. Okay, so let me write it here only. Sign up login page dot enter username. Okay, so string username. So first, how will you get that username, right? So let's say credential lists dot. Okay, so first we are going to credential list, that the list where we are storing everything. So dot get method. Okay, so get int index. So from where you are getting, we are getting from the 0th one, right? Dot dot, and again what we are going to get, we are going to get the index of 0. So first index is your username. Okay, and same thing you can have for the password actually. So enter password. So credential list dot get 0 dot get 1. Okay, so what is this get 0 and get 1? I will explain you shortly. Okay, so okay, so I can do one thing. Should I print this one? Let me run this one and see if it is working or not. Okay, so now let's run the cucumber runner and see. Browser open, navigator, logging in, log out now, close the browser. Okay, cool. So let's see. Okay, so you can see, right? Sign up or login page is displayed. Okay, entered username as qaautomationclasses at the gmail.com, and this is the entered password. Okay, this is how you pass the username and password, right? So it is ready, right? So you can see somewhere it should say data table and all. See, io.cucumber.datatable.data table, and here from data table we are reading these two values, username and password. Okay, so so what is this list of string, and what is this credential dot get 0 dot get 0 get 0 dot get 1? This one will be clear when I take the next example. Okay, so let's go to our feature file. Okay, so okay, so here I have given one set of the data. Let's pass another set of data here, another set of data. Okay, so gmail.com classes 1, automation classes 1, automation classes 2 at the rate gmail.com, automation classes 2, automation classes 3, automation classes 3. Okay, so now if you see, there are 4 rows of the data I'm trying to pass over here. So first one is having the valid username and password, and all other are invalid cases. Okay, so but now I just wanted to show you how exactly that list of string works. Okay, so now when we use that as a list method, where is the step definition? Let's open the step definition and let's go to here. Okay, so now okay, so before that, how exactly this list of string will look for this set of the data, right? For this set of data, how exactly it is going to look? Okay, so if I take this one, okay, let's take the whiteboard, or I can take a notepad and can explain also. Okay, so notepad. Okay, So okay, so we're going to do this list of strings, right? So let me take this one first, list of strings. How exactly we're going to represent this list of the string? Okay, so first we are saying list of string. Okay, so we are going to create a list which contains the strings. Okay, so let's create a string list. Okay, and so list will have two values, right? So if you see here, where is our feature file? So this is the first value, right? So let's take, this is the first value, and since these are the string, they will be inside the double quote. So this is the first value. Okay, the first element in the list, and the second element is the qaautomationclasses classes, the password. Okay, so this is list of the string. Okay, so this is nothing but the list of the string. After this, I hope everyone is clear. Okay, this is the list of the string, and then I'm saying list of the string. That means this is just a one list. Okay, like this we have multiple list inside a list, right? So similarly I can say, let's copy it and update the values. Okay, so second list, third list, fourth list. Okay, and the values we can copy from here. One. Okay, fine, I can update here only. So let's say 1 and 1, sorry, 1, and I'll say 2, and I'll say here 2, and here I'll say 3, and here I'll say 3. Okay, so now if you see, this is list of string. These are list of strings. Okay, so let's say this is a list of string, this is one is a list of string. Okay, so this is a list and it has two strings. Okay, and then similarly we can say there are multiple list of the strings are there, and those are part of a list. So how to do that? So we have to again put that inside the square bracket. Okay, so that means it is the list of the string. This is how exactly it is going to be represented when you say through the data table. When you say list of the string, and you say user credentials dot as list, right? So as lists, so there are multiple lists will be combined into the one list, and we are passing string dot class, right? So the string dot class argument, it is used to convert the data table argument to a list of string type. Okay, and since here if you are seeing in this example, currently we are passing four different types of the values over here, right? So now list of string, let's understand what is the get of 0, get of 0, get of 0, right? So now if you see, so this is inside this parent list, this is one of the list, right? But inside this parent list, what is the index of this list? So this is the 0th index, right? So initially everyone will be in the 0th index, right? And similarly the second one will be at the first index, and then the, okay, this is at the 1 index, right? And this is at the 2 index, and this is at the 3 index. Okay, so now we can say one thing, 0 1 2 3. Okay, so now if you see, this is a 0, so what I'm saying, get 0 of 0. So this is for the outer list, right? So get 0 means we are first going to this list. Okay, so inside that get 0, what I'm saying here, what is that step definition? So get is a list dot get 0 dot get 0. So why again get 0? So inside this is also a list. For the outer list, this is the 0th index, right? At the 0th index we have a list. Okay, inside this also we have another list, and this is the 0th location, right? This is the 0th location has the username, and the 1th location has the password. So if you see, for the username we went to the first list. Okay, and from the first list I'm retrieving the first element, get 0, and similarly for the password I'm going to the first list, right, dot get 0, and retrieving the first element, right? First element is nothing but the 0 index, and this is the 1 index, that is nothing but the password, right? So similarly this is how you can retrieve the data, right? But when you have the multiple data, right, so how exactly you will iterate through them, and from the list of string, and how will you print them? Okay, so for iterating them I can have a simple loop. We can use a for loop. Okay, so let's say for, okay, I'll say for list of the string. Okay, so let's say list of string. Okay, for list of string, what we're saying, let's say give any name. So I'll say value. Okay, value in the credential list, right? So because this is where we have all our details over here. So credential list, for this one, what we are going to do, we are going to print it. So what we are going to print, let's say s out. Okay, so we are going to print value dot, okay, value dot get of 0, right, value dot get of 0, and plus, let's give some separator here, double quotes. Okay, so let's give some separator. Okay, and let's say value dot plus value dot get of 1. Okay, so so what it is going to do, so for each list of the string, right, so there are 4 list of the strings are there, so I'm capturing that entire list in the value from the credential list, then I'm going to print value get of 0. So first position, right, the first position we are going to print, and then the second position we are going to print, like 0th index and the first index we are going to print for each of the list, right. So that's what you see, list of the string, for list of the string value in the credential list, system.out.println value dot get of 0, value dot get of 1. Okay, so now we are printing all of them, but I'm just utilizing, if you see, 0 of 0 and 0 of 1, the first record whatever we have passed, I'm just using them. Okay, so this is how you will iterate a list of list and you will get the values from there. Okay, so let me run and see. Only the valid values will be picked up for the login. Okay, the first row data will get picked up, but here we'll display all those values. So this is nothing but your data table. Okay, so basically in the data table we usually pass one line of data. If multiple set of the data are there, we usually go with the scenario outline and example, where those for each set of the data it executes, right, the state script is getting executed once. Okay, so if you see here, right, we are printing these things, right. If you see qaautomationclasses at the gmail.com, qaautomationclasses the password, second one, third one, right, so everything is getting printed over here. Entered username is the first data whatever we have passed. Okay, so this is what is the concept of the data table. Okay, and it is used as a data table as a list we have used, right. So when you use data table as a list, what you need to do, so first you have to say data table, you have to capture the details from the whatever you have defined in the feature file with the help of some variable name, and then you say that variable dot as lists, because we are going to convert those data into the multiple lists. Okay, and string dot class, pass the string dot class, because the string dot class will convert that into the list of the strings. Okay, and store that into the any variable, and then then we have to iterate through it, right. So for iterating through it, use this for loop, and then you can print, but we are going to use the actual one set of the value that is used for the logging in, right, with the valid username and password. So that's why I'm just going to this credential list, and from there I'm getting the first list, and from first list I'm getting the 0th index, right. So that is a username, and from the first list I'm getting the password as the first index value, right, and then I'm continuing with my automation script execution. So this is how exactly you define a data table in the feature file, right. You define the data table in the feature file, and this is with the help of the data table as a list, you read it and you use it in the automation framework, and mostly a single line of the data is passed most of the time. Okay, so if you have multiple set of the data, then it is better to go with the scenario and scenario outline, because see here this step is going to get executed once only, so it doesn't matter how many times you are passing the data over here, right. If you if you have 5 set of the data or 6 set of the data to be passed, right, so then it doesn't mean like you test that step is going to get executed 5-6 times, right. This is going to get executed one, and whatever the data is there, if you have five data to be passed, so pass here by 5 separated values, right, and capture it through the this data table as list, right. So I just wanted to show you this console, so that I have given like this. Okay, so that's all to this session, guys, and in the next session we'll be seeing data table as map actually, right. So that is another way in which we can use this data table as a map, and that is the next important concept, that is also part of the data driven testing that can be that is used in your cucumber framework, right. So that is also one important class. Next session we'll be looking into that one, so please stay tuned to the Q automation classes. If you guys are really enjoying these sessions, I'll request you to subscribe to my channel and share this content with your friends and colleagues, so that they can also get benefited out of it. And if you guys have any questions, just put them in the comment section, I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And let's commit this one, so git commit. So here I'll say data table as list implementation. Okay, so commit all. Okay, fine, working correctly, nothing to commit. Okay, we can see, ignore. So go to git, so git log data table list implementation. Okay, cool. So that's all to this session, guys. See you, thank you, bye bye.